You got some farmers sobbing on the radio because their £3 million estates might get taxed when they snuff it, like after they die. And frankly, those farmers would rather that those taxes were paid for by their fruit pickers. That's basically what this is. Just take that in for a second. Drink in the classist Nepo baby pleb hate that is on full display here. They would rather that poor, struggling, low-income povers with their soot-gargling laden lungs and blistered digits from a hard day's work, they would rather that the poor suffer those taxes and austerity cuts while they're alive than the farmers themselves pay for them even when they're dead. When they're fucking dead, they would rather still hold on to that money. Like, how bad is that? That's when you know that the hate is real. When it follows you into the afterlife. What do you mean? Pay it out of the money after I've passed away? Absolutely not. You know, some priest on his deathbed with him, begging him to give some away. Like, you can't take it with you. Well, we'll see about that. Bury me with my riches. So, yeah. Farmers getting mad about this. I haven't seen farmers this mad since they all voted for Brexit and then protested when they got hit with tariffs and couldn't find summer staff and had sewage dumped into their rivers and streams. They were mad about that too, as I recall. What were some other reactions to the budget this week? Anybody see some funny ones? Anyone seen any choruses, nay orchestras of tiny violins coming out to play as the tables have turned? Well, what do you mean I have to pay a value-added tax on my private school privileged luxury elite product? The VAT should go on bonus luxury products that poor people are upsold into buying, not actually elite products that rich people routinely buy. Do you not understand the difference, Rachel? Do you not understand how that works? That's why there's no VAT on buying racehorses or jet fuel or school fees, but there is VAT on Pinot Grigio, Stella Artois and trips to the Algarve. This is how it works, Rachel. I don't think you've thought about this at all. So yeah, people in the live chat. Any orchestras of tiny violins? Because I saw a couple this week. I'll share them with you now. Laura Kuennsberg. I think this was last Sunday, and she said, well, you know, what about a couple? What about a young couple who have scrimped and saved and bought a couple of investment properties? I'm like, Jesus f***ing Christ. But then that graduated to this morning's even better one, even better tiny violin solo in the Telegraph. This was like 2 buy-to-let landlords with 60 properties, right? It's a couple. They have 60. I'm sure they scripted and saved. I'm positive that is what happened. And they're given, you know, this interview with the Telegraph where it's just incredible. It really is. They're like, you know, we just feel like we've been hung out to dry by this Labour government, this Labour budget. We just feel, don't we, darling? We just feel like we've been hung out to dry by them. Totally ignored. Cut adrift, cast aside and forgotten. We're struggling, aren't we, love? Yes, we are, with our 60 investment properties. We just feel like we've been hung out to dry. We're going to have to sell our boats, they cried. Like, I get that it's hard. I understand that it's hard. I get that it's shit. It's an adjustment for you, isn't it? I get that you're annoyed that buy-to-let isn't very profitable anymore. I understand. We all understand that. Plus the capital gains, all of that's going to go up too, and they've changed the, the brackets for it, so maybe you're more in scope of the higher bracket or whatever. I understand that it must be frustrating. It's a change. But honestly, you know what you should do? You know what you should do if you're struggling, as these two obviously are, in the Telegraph piece with their 60 properties. 60! Like, just quickly, actually, I mean, this will be fun. You know, let's just focus on that for a minute, on the 60. Just for a laugh. The guy's in Colchester, isn't he? I read this earlier. He's in Colchester. So let's say they're all one-bed flats, right? There could be a couple of two beds, but let's just keep this as, you know, as meager as possible. Let's assume that they are all one beds. So 61-bed flats, all rented for, you know, I did a little bit of research on this earlier. They seem to fluctuate between like $800 a month and $1,200 a month. So let's say that they're all £900 a month. That's a medium sort of rate, okay? So 61-bed flats, all rented for $900 a month. They complain in this piece that they had to cut their management company out to keep the profits running. So now they're having to do like all the maintenance themselves, which is actually quite hard work. I'm led to believe, like my missus does, you know, property here and there, and she's only got two. She's got two, like, investment flats that she scrimped and saved. She didn't fucking scrimp and save. It's family money. But she does. She manages two of them herself, and she seems to spend her life like running between them, you know, with pipes burst and gas safety checks and all of that. So I'm sure that it is a hassle. Is, you know, what I'm saying. But still, £900 a month times 60 is £54,000 a month. 54 grand a month coming in. And let's be realistic again. Like, I don't want to, you know, lead you up the garden path with all of this stuff. You know, let's be somewhat realistic. Let's be generous to this scenario that we're working out. Let's say that they're all mortgaged off each other, you know? Like, they don't actually own 60 fucking properties, you know, the bank does. But still, you know, let's take half that. Let's take 3/4 of that off, assuming that they don't own 75% of that 54 grand a month that they've got coming in. It still works out at 10 grand a month. 10 grand. You're telling me you couldn't find, you know, someone to manage those properties and then you just go live abroad when you're on £10,000 a month? Really? In retirement? Fucking delusion. Oh, we just feel like we've been hung out to dry, Ade. We just feel like we've been hung out to dry. Really? Hung out to dry in the sunshine? Is what you've been. Hung out to dry with your 10 grand a month while everyone else is forced to work up with a high tax burden in Tesco and drive buses and cleans and picks fruit. Well, yeah, I mean, we just feel like we've personally been thrown to the wolves. Oh, really? Are you sure you're going to survive? Are you sure you're okay, Grandad? Are you sure you're all right, Grandad? I ask emotionally as I come off my second double shift and tag team with my wife just to make it through another month without descending into the red. Well, I'm seriously considering selling my son so I can still afford my daughter. Are you all right, Grandad? You know, it's that rarely ventured or visited moment where you don't know if your granddad is going to kind of freeze to death or starve to death because he can't last on his 10 grand a month, or if this whole situation and argument and blog on the Telegraph is actually just a symptom of dementia. Should I be worried about the dementia, Dad? Like, I'll tell you what it's like, right? It's like the meme of Jesus, isn't it? It's like the meme of Jesus listening. Oh, I've got it up now. It's like the meme of Jesus listening to Mel Gibson complaining. That is what this is. Like, this is Generation X, right? Is Jesus there? Jesus is Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. This is us lot listening to you millionaire farmers complaining about your fucking cash flow. You bellends. Well, I don't know how we're going to survive. I just feel like we've been thrown to the wolves. I just feel like we're, you know, nobody's thinking about us though, are they? I just feel like I've been hung out to dry. Oh, you poor love. You poor thing. Oh dear, what are you gonna do? If you are struggling, right, as indeed these people clearly are, I just want you to know that I am here for you. You know, we're all here for you. Even though it may not sound like it. sometimes, and how do you know that? How do you know that we're here for you? Because, here I am on camera telling you that I feel for you. I feel for all of you, all of those out there who are just about managing, to get around all those properties and change a light bulb and sell your boat is what they're saying that they're going to do. I feel for you. Of course I do. I'd be inhuman if I didn't. Of course I feel for you. And you know that because I'm speaking earnestly and empathetically for those of you who just want to get on. I understand what you're going through. Yeah, sincerely I do. Because, how do I know what you're going? Well, because once I had Sky TV when I was a kid or something. But, the farmers, the private school patrons, the capital gains survivors out there. Just know this, my message to you. I know that things are tough. I know that you're just about managing out there. But please, just hang on in there, guys. Because, listen, come close. Labour benefits are just around the corner. They are. Honestly, just hang in there, guys. Labour benefits are coming soon. So they let the British lion roar, guys, right? Don't worry about your worries. And so, thoughts and prayers and all of that. What are we gonna do? What else can we do for them, guys, in the live chat? What else? Maybe you could all come. Do you want to come with me now? What we could do is we could do an outside broadcast right now. I could take you out the front of my house, and I'll tell you what we'll do. Right, we'll set up it's an outside broadcast for the farmers. For the private school parents, for the capital gains survivors who struggle, I know and I understand. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out onto my front porch and we are going to clap for our cretins. That's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to offer you some claps and some thoughts and prayers and the benefits of just coming around the corner because you guys are just about managing. We are offering you all some claps to just hang in there, yeah. Who's up for joining my Clap for Our Cretins campaign? That's all they need, guys. I checked it with the banks, checked it with their mortgage providers, their energy bills, all of that. Apparently all they need is claps. I know. I was shocked too. I was pretty surprised, pretty relieved actually, because it means I don't have to do all. But yeah, just hold your nerve, guys. You just about managing heroes. Labour benefits are coming. Just hold your nerve. And I know I'm delighted to tell you that we're on your side and we hear your concerns, but watch now as we immediately roll out our actual policy that does precisely the opposite to all of the stuff you wanted us to do, just like the Tories did. Yes. Right, we'll just stand here and we'll say that we're against direct action and Just Stop Oil style protesting and unlawful protest and all of that. And then we'll roll out some environmental protections. Just like Rishi Sunak did when he said he had 2 committed environmentalist daughters at home and he was committed to net zero, only to push back net zero commitments and sign off those 300 drilling licenses. Boom! Like, it's not nice, is it? It's not nice. It's probably really annoying when one paints a picture of oneself as one thing, only to then legislate with one's true colours over here. It's probably really annoying to be on the receiving end of that with your 60 flats. 60 investment properties worth about £200,000 each, I looked up earlier. So £200,000 times 60 is 12 million. It's a 12 million pound property portfolio. 12 million. And they're in the paper with sad faces like a couple with a missing teenager. Like, look at them. Look at their faces. Like, even if you took off the mortgages, if you slashed that by half, it's still £6 million. Even if you took a chunk off for capital gains, it's like 3 million quid. 3 million, and add on their boat. Like, how can you not sail around the world with your own boat and £3 million? Like, somebody needs to tell these rich cunts how to budget better. I mean, they just do.